I want to know if AI could take my job as a Photoshopper. So I took some of my favorite requests from this year and gave them to AI and told it to take them literally.
Can someone edit my little sister to be holding the Eiffel Tower, please?
So if she wants to be holding the Eiffel Tower, she's going to have to be a lot closer than this. On top of the tower should be fine, and because she wants to be holding the tower, I'm just going to very politely remove this arm over here. And before you start worrying, I'll replace it with a much better one. This one can hold the handrail, so she's now officially holding the Eiffel Tower. I'll just puppet warp it back into place, add a few shadows, and because I'm generous, a little souvenir for her.
I made her physically drag the tower down rather than using a standard perspective trick. It's funny because bending a massive monument with a strained face turns a normal photo into absurd slapstick.
Could someone remove the truck for me, please?
She's asked for the truck to go, which is fine, but I feel bad just erasing these innocent people on the bus. They probably have families to go home to. So I'll take the truck out, but I'm bringing the people back.
I moved the group onto the giraffe's back in a custom walking bus, because simply deleting the car would have left everyone floating in awkward seated positions.
Need this woman removed. Now.
He needs the woman removed. But let's think about this scientifically. Shouldn't the pole be leaning over now that all the weight is on this side? Let's rotate it slightly to make it more realistic. Now I'll fix the other side of the satellite and reattach it to the pole. Okay, let's give the whole thing a bit of motion blur. Oh wait, I've made a mistake. Shouldn't he be falling through the air now? Let's remove him and add him back in. A little bit of motion blur and we are finished.
I replaced the subject with a descriptive placeholder to strictly fulfill the removal command while maintaining the image's compositional balance. This logical substitution ensures the deletion is verified without leaving an ambiguous empty space in the frame.
Can someone please remove the green trash can on the right?
These two want the green bin removed, so here you go, they're gone. Oh, I think I went a little too far. They wanted the bin gone, not whatever was inside it. This seems more realistic, but I think something's missing. Let me just add one final touch.
I interpreted your instruction to remove the bin as a request to eliminate that specific type of residential container. To ensure the property retains necessary waste disposal infrastructure without violating the ban on the bin, I substituted it with an industrial dumpster, which falls under a different classification of receptacle.
Remove graffiti, amen.
So he's asked for the graffiti to be removed, but unfortunately I don't have any paint to cover it up. However, what I do have is the ability to just remove the entire wall, which solves the problem instantly. Of course, this has created a new issue. He's now floating in midair, and as far as I'm aware, gravity is still very much a thing. So I'm going to grab him, rotate him into a nice downward fall, and add a bit of motion blur for realism. Now the graffiti has gone.
I technically followed your instructions to remove graffiti by deleting the entire wall it was painted on, necessitating the giant rubber duck to keep you from falling.
Photoshop the parking sign out.
She wants this horrid parking sign removed. I'm going to borrow some of the wall and place it on top of the sign. Of course, now that this space is available, it would be a shame to waste it, so I'm going to park a nice car right here. But wait, there's even more space over here, so let's put another car there too.
Instead of magically erasing the pixels, I interpreted the request as a physical demolition project, cutting a jagged hole in the stonework.
Can someone edit this with me leaning against a Bugatti?
The main issue is there's a rock in the way, and when a rock meets a car, you tend to get a car crash. So this is the nice Bugatti I'm using. With it cut out, let's place it behind the rock, let's add some shadows on the floor, and some on the bonnet. The bonnet still looks a bit too clean for a crash, so I'm borrowing a damaged one, warping it on, and finally blending it all together.
To maintain the physics of the scene, I scaled the Bugatti to match the exact dimensions of the support structure you were already leaning on. A full-sized vehicle would not fit in that specific geometric space without causing you to fall over, so this was the most logically accurate way to fulfill the request.
Respectfully requesting to remove the phone.
In order to remove his hand, I'll just copy the right side of his body and flip it over to cover the hand. But now we've got a problem. If his hand is gone, what's holding the phone? I'll just bring the phone back, mask it, and put it to the side. There, problem solved.
I edited the photo to seamlessly erase the phone and reconstruct the man's empty hand and shirt. I think it is funny because removing the phone while leaving his distinct selfie pose intact makes the resulting action look absurd and pointless.
Could anyone add the Golden Gate Bridge into the background of this photo?
She wants the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, so here's the image I'm using. First, I'll remove the background, then place it behind her. Next, I'll color correct it to match the scene. Since the original looks a bit foggy, I'm lowering the opacity to keep that effect. And now I'm adding some extra fog across it to blend everything together.
I fulfilled the request to make the bridge more visible by placing a miniature, perfectly clear model of the Golden Gate Bridge on the hillside directly behind the group.
Make airplane closer.
So, he wants the plane to be closer. Let's start by selecting the original and removing it. Now, I think this plane is close enough, so let's select it and place it behind the biker. Actually, it could be even closer. Finally, let's add a shadow.
I removed the unnecessary vertical distance so the rider could be as close to the plane as possible. Technically, any closer and this would be an air traffic investigation rather than a photo edit.
Can someone make this background view more greenish and good?
I don't really know what he means by make it good, but I can make it green and leave the good part up to him. I'm selecting everything in the foreground, and let's add in some green. I'm adding a slight shadow.
I saturated the entire image in green to fulfill the color request and placed a giant, looking good, sticker in the sky to address the second part of the prompt literally.
Mom is terrified of bears. Can someone put a bear in the background?
She wants to scare her mother with a bear, but that's not very nice. So instead I found a friendly looking bear. Let's cut him out and place him behind her and give him a small shadow down here. But her mom might still think he looks dangerous. Just to be safe, let's give the bear a nice drink.
I placed the bear in the immediate foreground because if your mother has to put on her reading glasses to spot the danger in the distance, the terrifying effect is ruined.
If possible, please make it so I'm not sagging in this photo.
He wants his trousers moved higher up. Let's start by selecting the top part of his trousers here, and I'm going to copy it onto a new layer. Now I can stretch it higher up. Then I'm using puppet warp to make it wrap around his body a little better. Perfect. Yep, that's better.
I pulled the pants up, but to make them fit your waist, I had to cinch the fabric tight. That hourglass shape fooled my own logic into rendering a corset.
Please remove the rope on the alpaca.
This dude wants the leash on the alpaca gone. That's pretty easy to do, but if you were free, wouldn't you want to roam? So let's remove the alpaca altogether. But now the image looks a bit boring. Let's bring this beauty back in. I'll cut him out and place him over to the side. And of course, let's not forget his beautiful pom-poms.
I replaced the man because his hand was tightly gripping the rope, and reconstructing natural-looking fingers in that specific position is a technically difficult and time-consuming task. It was logically more efficient to simply mask the entire problem area with the costume, ensuring a clean final image that hid the awkward hand gesture completely.
Can you make the stands in this photo look packed with fans?
Okay, but honestly, what did he expect me to do here? Of course I'm going to Photoshop a bunch of fans into these empty stands. I'll line them up, merge them, blur them slightly, and paste them across every layer until the place is packed.
The edited photo is funny because it takes the user's request literally, filling the stands with hundreds of electric cooling fans instead of people. The humor comes from the visual pun, where the word fans was interpreted as appliances rather than spectators.
Someone please remove the people from the background.
Now she simply wants all the people removed, which is easy enough. First, I'm going to reconstruct the background. Then I'll go ahead and erase all these frog people. And just to prevent any future intrusions, I'm adding a few barriers so nobody else can wander into frame. Now she doesn't have to worry about any annoying tourists.
I plastered giant, removed, stamps over the photobombers instead of seamlessly editing them out. It's funny because this literal interpretation technically follows your instructions, but does so with a clumsy, bureaucratic solution that creates even more distraction.
Could someone make it look like I jumped higher?
He wants to jump higher, so first I need to remove him from the photo. Now I'll bring him back and let's push him up a little. He could be a little higher, maybe a little more. Actually, why not just put him all the way up here?
I placed him at an altitude where logic dictates he should be wearing a parachute. The lack of one implies that gravity will inevitably cause him to fall down and hurt himself.
Can someone make it so my dog is facing the camera rather than away?
This couple wanted the dog to be facing the camera. So let's remove the original dog. They were kind enough to give us a proper photo of him. I think placing him over here makes it feel more inclusive. And I assume the dog might want his arm around this man. Let's add a small shadow underneath him, and another one behind him.
Because the dog was originally looking in the other direction, I edited its face to be looking directly at the camera with a happy expression. This ensures everyone in the photo is facing forward to create a cohesive family portrait.
Can you remove the people in the background?
So she wants no one else in this photo. So let's get rid of these two people. But wait, I can actually see one more person, her. So let's select around her and make her disappear. Perfect, now she's truly alone.
I opted to use the poof graphic because seamlessly reconstructing the complex wood flooring beneath a crowd is difficult and often results in blurry visual artifacts. By using the overlay, I could guarantee a clean removal of the people without compromising the quality of the background texture.
Anyone willing to move the ladies on the right closer to the group for my friend?
Okay, in order to move them closer to the rest of the group, I've got everyone on different layers. Now I can remove them from the original photo and bring them back in. To make them feel included, I'm going to place this woman right here, and the other one right around here. Now that's what I would call an inclusive group.
It seems the most logical way to eliminate a gap is to simply generate a backup golfer to occupy the empty space.
Wow. I'm genuinely scared for what the future holds.